Hi and welcome. This is Christine Lopez with Homes by Kristine and co-founder of Elevate Vision. And today I have my really good friend, Kaye Nicholson with me. Hi, Kaye.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So today I asked Kaye to come on because I really love her story. And I met her several years ago because I used to volunteer at my daughter's elementary school in the library. And I've done this for all three of my kids. And Kaye came on as a librarian, and that's when I met her. And I was a little unsure about her because, any new person that comes in my life, I'm like, standoffish. So, anyways, I got to meet her, and over the years, we became speaking French. She's no longer there, but she just really has inspired me as a businesswoman, as a woman of divorce, a woman with kids, and her journey just is kind of cool. So, Kaye, when I met you, you told me you had just got your degree.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it, and I so much value and love our friendship, and you inspire me on the daily, so I'm just pleased to be here, so thank you for inviting me.
Of
So,
course.
yeah, so I actually, had worked full-time for 20 years. I'll kinda give you a little bit of the backstory. I'm 51 now, I'll be 52 in August, and I started working at 18 as a 911 operator. So college wasn't in my path or on kind of my radar at that time because it was all about going out, getting a job, supporting yourself. My mom said, make sure you get a job with benefits. So I hadn't really had the opportunity to follow any sort of passion because it was all about just surviving and paying your bills and stuff. So fast forward, and I got married at 25 and divorced at 32. Not something that I ever thought would happen to me. Thought I was in, an amazing marriage and everything, but sometimes things just don't work out. And my ex-husband and I did not have children together. So I met my now husband, Peter, at a party just randomly. I was living in Reno and he came up to visit one of his friends while I was actually going through my divorce, but we were long separated.
Mhm.
And we just hit it off and we dated long distance for a year and a half. And then when it came time to kind of make that move, once my divorce was final and what are we going to do? He owned his own business here locally. So it made sense for me to move back to California. I was born and raised here, went to the old Oxnard High School and lived at the beach in Oxnard and stuff. And so I moved back to California in 2003, worked for Washington Mutual. So I worked for a loan originator there. So did that for almost 5 years. And then the economic downturn happened, right? So many of us had gotten laid off during that time. And at that point, I had worked full time for 20 years. And my husband said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, we're going to start a family here pretty soon, but I never got to go to school. So that's something that I had always wanted to do, but I just couldn't figure out how to do that when I was working full time. So I, enrolled as, let's see, I was probably 37 or 38,
Oh, wow.
enrolled at Moore Park College and had to take a pre-algebra class with a bunch of, 18-year-olds and stuff, which was really interesting, but there were some adults in there as well. So over the course of the next 6 years, I worked on my degree. In the second semester I was in school, found out I was pregnant with our son, who's now almost 13. So for me, it was a great combination of going to school and also being a stay-at-home mom. So I went to school. And then when I had him in June of 2009, I took 3 years off to be at home with him. But then when he turned 3, I could take him to the preschool up at the college. And I just kind of chipped away 1, 2 classes at a time and earned my degree by May of 2017, which was awesome. And like I said, it gave me the best of both worlds to where I could be with him, be a fully present mom and enjoy that, but then also have my toe dipped in adulthood and
Yeah.
learning and stuff too. So
Well,
that was
when you
kind of
told
fun.
me that, I have to tell you, starting college that late and that's what really inspired me and piqued my interest with you. I was like, that's kind of nuts because going in as an adult, I mean, not that it's nuts. It's just,
No, but yeah, no, I totally get it. It's like outside
it's
the
rooted
box.
in so many levels. It's just because part of it is, like you said, you're going to school with a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds,
Yeah.
so there's a pride level. And then but knowing that this is something that you want to do and this was in your stars, you just need to figure out when it happened. And that's what I think a lot of people just say, oh, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that. And
Yeah.
I say this to people all the time. I mean, like, there's so many things that I started in my 40s, rock climbing, skiing, all these things. You're not too old to do anything, just like you with going to college.
Absolutely. And I just feel like, if you have something on your heart and you want to do it, just follow that passion. Just follow, it doesn't matter. And I have actually gained some amazing friends of all different ages from that experience. And it also helped me rewrite some of my old programming that I wasn't smart or that I wasn't good at math or that I wasn't this or that or whatever, right? Because I didn't get the greatest grades in school, to be honest. I ditched a lot when I was in high school and didn't have the best experience. It was rough back in the day, right?
Mhm.
But what I learned was that I loved learning. And once I applied myself, and I had some really phenomenal teachers at Moore Park College, and they taught me that I can be good at math. I just might need a little more practice than other people do because I'm naturally more inclined to like English literature. Like I can geek out about a story till the cows come home. Like I love literature, stories, plot, like all the things. But math isn't necessarily my forte, but you can learn how to be better and learn the skills to be able to be better at that.
Absolutely. And so when you got your degree, then you became a librarian, or what did you do right after?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, December of 2016, I knew that I would be graduating in May. And I knew, and the expectation in my family was to do something part time, definitely not full time because my husband runs his own business and he works a lot of hours. So it's me, taking to school, picking up doctor's appointments, sports, homework, like all the things, right? So a full time job wasn't really something that in our family we wanted to do. So definitely a part time. So I thought, well, what if I find something that has the same school schedule as my son? So the librarian, I had actually been a parent volunteer in my son's library at his school. So she said, hey, why don't you put your application in through the district? And, you never know what's going to happen. So December of 16, I put in my application and then took the test and all of that. And I was on the list for, I don't know, however long I was, graduated and then accepted the PTA presidency. I had already been on the PTA volunteering up until that point, but once I was done with school, then I had it in my wheelhouse and time and capacity to take on the presidency, which I was super proud to do.
Mhm.
So I became PTA president, and I thought, oh, great, I'll be able to catch up on all the things that I haven't been able to catch up on because I've been doing homework and writing papers for the last, like, I don't know how many years. And then I got called for an interview at Westlake Hills in September. So I went to the position, went and interviewed. The school was lovely, absolutely loved it. And then I was hired. So then I was juggling both being a librarian, mom, and actually all three things, and working at the library. So it turned out to be a really great experience. And I'm so happy that I've met so many great people like you and some of the other volunteers that I had during that time, and the kids as well. The kids were so fun.
Yeah, I geek out on libraries too. Well, you know me, I'm a big reader, and
Yes, for
and
sure.
yeah, if I'm going to volunteer anywhere in a school, it's going to be in a library,
Yeah.
which is why, anyways, that's how I met you. So, but like when you were doing library, so when I met Kay, and I don't think you'll be offended by this, she was a little bit bigger. And she completely, like, it seemed like she was gone for the summer and she was like a different person when she came back. So tell me about that, like in your whole healthy living, because that inspired me too. I'm like, here you are, older, going to college, you're doing things like totally in reverse. And
Yeah.
it's kind of rad. So tell me about that.
Thank you so much. So I had gained 50 pounds when I had my son. I wasn't one of those cute pregnant girls. I'm 5'9", and all my weight I carry on my bottom half. That's just how I'm shaped. I'm smaller on top and bigger on the bottom, but I had gained 50 pounds with my son, and I lost the baby's weight. And then for 9 years, I literally struggled with the 40 pounds that I had had. I'd go up and down and all around and all the things. And I, just like yourself, I'm a little bit older than you, but I grew up in the 80s and 90s, which had the, huge diet culture,
Mhm.
and diets don't work. It's like you do something for an extended period of time and then you go back to your old habits because there's not a sustainability aspect to it. And then you end up reverting back to where you were before. So I had was introduced to Arbonne's 30 Days to Healthy Living, and actually it was January of 2018. And I didn't know what it was. I had never heard of Arbonne before, even though they'd been around at that point by 40 years or so. But they had been out with a nutrition plan for about 7 at that point. And basically what it taught me was how to fuel my body with the foods that are not inflammatory. So I was able to recognize the foods that weren't serving my body. And that's different for everyone. Gluten and dairy are not my friends. They just are not. Like, I've tried to eat them. I've tried to be okay with it, but my body just does not like it. And what happens is when you have a lot of inflammatory foods, it causes you not to be able to either lose weight, or it causes other symptoms, right? So I had a weird rash on my ankle that I didn't know what was going on. I had gut inflammation, slow digestion, like all the things. So it completely rocked my world and changed the way that I feed myself and my family, because I really understood how foods affect our bodies. And then once my body started feeling good, my outlook, my mindset, like everything happened. I shed the 40 pounds. I was like literally a new person, like you said. Like, you came in
You were
again,
like
like
a
at
totally
one
different
point,
person.
and you're like, oh my God, who is this? So it's been phenomenal for me.
Yeah, and what's really neat about Kay, she started this whole. I mean, she started with the Arbonne thing, but she's really kind of taken it off into her own little healthy living. And she does this cooking with Miss Kay, which I look forward to whenever you put the post
Oh,
on. So they're
thank
on
you.
Facebook. Do you have it on Instagram as well?
I
Kay?
do. Yeah, I put out IGTVs on Instagram as well.
Yeah, and they're so cute because they're like these little video shorts of these cool recipes and stuff. And then she just inspires me, like, okay, I'm so bored of making, like, turkey burgers and grilled chicken because I'm always eating healthy too. And
Yeah,
she just reminds me, and I think her viewing audience too, just like some really good recipes that you can have to stay healthy, and it doesn't have to be boring. But I mean, the reason why I wanted you on here is just to show people, women, in general, and men. I mean, we're so multifaceted as
yeah,
women. We're working, we're trying to be educated, we're juggling divorce, and I know men do the same thing. I mean, they have the same struggles, but then you add the whole weight and image thing with women, and I think
yeah.
you've handled that so well. And I just think that you've been an inspiration. I know, to
Oh,
me, and then also to a lot of these people around you, and not doing the crash dieting, and
yeah,
showing people that you could do whatever you want at whatever age. And we
yeah,
need more people like you that say, break through this barrier of, like, I'm not 18, I'm not 20, I'm not 30, I'm in my 40s, you're in your 50s. Good for us.
yeah,
We can start,
exactly.
I mean, I've thrown around the idea many times, like, should I go back and get my MBA? And I'm like, but then I look at you, I'm like, oh, maybe I should.
Yeah, no, and it's, you know what? This has been such a great journey for me. And once I got healthy, and then I started falling in love with the skincare and the makeup that Arbonne offers too. They've been around for 40 years. They're vegan. They were vegan and cruelty free before that was like the cool buzzwords to say. And just the company's ethics, and just the way that their whole goal is to help people be healthy, mind, body, and skin, and to help people flourish. And I didn't really ever spend any sort of time working on personal development and personal growth or anything like that until I became an Arbonne consultant.
Mhm.
And what I've learned is, once I filled up my cup, and I had a lot of growing to do as a person. I had a lot of anger and resentment from my divorce. I had a lot of anger and resentment towards my father and towards different people, and just baggage, right? We all have baggage at some point. And
Mhm.
it helped me really. Once my body started feeling good, then I felt like I could tackle some of the things that were weighing me down. And I was weighed down for a lot of years with a lot of things. And one summer, it was summer of 19, I went through this like metamorphosis, if you will, again, right? The first one was physical, the second one was mental, and really letting go of so much of that stuff that wasn't serving me. Because at the end of the day, like, I think we all just want to be happy, and we
Mhm.
all want to be joyful, and be present and influence the people around us in a positive way. At least that's what I believe.
Yeah.
So it really made a huge difference. So once I kind of went through that transformation, then I realized that I'm good where I am. And it's my job to just show up, and it's our job to show up in our own authentic present self, and whatever that is. And we're going to inspire people with our own magic and what we have to offer. And I don't have to be those 18-year-olds that I went to school with, or that are also in Arbonne that are doing awesome things. Like, I am who I am, and I have my own, like, inspiration that I have to share with people. And it's like, that's my job, is to just go out and shine the light and be the example. So I've really taken that on. So being a consultant it's been so much more to me. And becoming a female entrepreneur, like I had the employee mindset for the longest time, and I thought I was happy. I was not happy. I was not fulfilled. Like I loved the library job, but there was nowhere for me to go. It was like that was it. I was going to just do the same thing forever. And I loved the library, loved the kids, loved my experience there. But I knew that I was made for more than that. I knew that I was meant to make a bigger impact. And this has given me that. So I'm able to inspire people to cook and clean, cook and eat healthier through, making healthy recipes. Or I'm able to help that mom that, wants to have some sort of income aside from her husband. This is a way that they can do that. Or someone that's working that loves their job that just needs a second stream of income. So I kind of am like, how can I help you with what? You love the skincare. It's like, that's one thing that I love being able to help you with, is to feel beautiful in your own skin. Right. So
Yeah.
I just feel like we can make a positive difference and a contribution in our own sphere of influence. And I don't know, I'm excited about that. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there,
No,
but
it's so funny because, you just recommended a book, The Big Leap, to me because you're going to
yes.
be doing the book club on that pretty
Yep.
soon. So I started reading it, and he was talking about one section about like a lot of the people that come to him for help have like these chronic issues, whether it's chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia or like something like that.
Yeah.
And as soon as they finally take the step out of like you were kind of in your what does he call it? Like the level
Zone
of
of excellence or
zone of
comfort
excellence.
zone. Yeah.
And it
Right.
was sort of the library for you. You were in your
Yes.
zone of excellence. You were comfortable. Like everything was good. Nothing was really bad, but you knew that you were meant for more.
Yeah.
And so you broke through that zone of excellence into your zone of genius, is how he calls it in the
Yes.
Big Leap book. I'm
Yeah.
super excited to continue to read it. I've been reading it every morning when I wake up before the gym.
Awesome.
And it's interesting though, he said in this book, like a lot of times when people break through that zone of excellence and they really kind of find who their true self is, a lot of these chronic issues start to go away, and your
Yes.
body manifests so many negative things physically when
Yeah.
you're not mentally where you need to be. And that's one thing, like you said, it's a tangent, but it's not. It's because health and body and mind, I mean, it all is intertwined.
It's all intertwined. And I think a lot of people fall into the trap, and I was guilty of it too. Good is the enemy of great. I have a good life. Like I'm
Mhm.
good, I'm comfortable. And it's like,
I have that quote written in my journal, honestly, when I journal, sometimes I'll just write that over and over. Good is the enemy of the great. Good is the enemy of the great, because you
yes.
are stuck. And good
Yeah.
is okay, but I don't know. For me, it's not enough.
For me, it's not enough either. Like I want to have a great life. And one of my girlfriends who actually introduced that book to me, Jody Moore,
Mhm.
she said, go where the energy is. And that's sometimes the thing that I really love to follow, is like where the energy is. And I find that sometimes people around me are not wanting to move, not really willing to move. And that's okay. It's like bless them where they're at and release them, but go where the synergy is, go where the energy is. And
Yeah.
you and I had lunch the other day, and both of us were just like, bah, 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 like all excited about everything that we have that we're creating. And
Mhm.
I love collaborating. Like that's one of my passions, that I love collaborating, like doing this interview with you. And I do these same types of interviews with people as well. So it's like just being the example, showing that, yeah, I'm 51 and I'm reinventing myself, and you can too. If I can, you can. It's like giving people permission
Yeah.
to live their most authentic life, whatever that is for them, whatever passion they have on their heart, like follow it.
Well, it's funny though that you say permission, because I know I mentioned this to you the other day. Every morning, I work out at the gym, so I leave at 4:45. So I backtrack and I have to wake up at 3:45. And in that hour, I like to do my devotionals and
Mhm.
do my reading and journal. But journaling was becoming such a chore. And I was telling you this, and
Yeah.
you're like, well, then change it up. And I was like, well,
Oh,
I'm like, well, maybe I could. And I was like, thanks for the permission. And sometimes it's just you need somebody to say, hey,
yeah,
it's okay to change it up. Just because you're not doing that doesn't mean you're not moving forward. You're just doing
exactly.
what serves you well that day.
Yeah.
And so this whole, like, since our lunch, I stopped journaling and I just started reading more in the morning because I enjoy reading so much. And that
Yes.
gives me joy. Where journaling, as much as I liked it, it started to become a chore.
Yeah.
But it was getting your permission, Kay.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm here to help.
Well, I know this interview is going a little longer than normal, but I want to thank you so much for coming. You're an inspiration to me, and I know that you're going to be inspiration to so many others. And tell us how we can get a hold of you. And I'm also going to put all your info in the bio.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I just love and appreciate you so much. And thank you for doing this with me. So anyone can reach out to me, phone call, text 805-947-7094, or on Instagram, it's Kaye.Nicholson3. So Kaye.Nicholson3. And then on Facebook, just Kaye Nicholson. But yeah, I'm happy to help, whether you want to get healthy, whether you're looking for an extra stream of income. More and more people, with inflation and everything that's happening right now, people are needing an extra $400 to $500 a month to maintain their current lifestyle. So this is a super flexible way that you're able to do that, or skincare, whatever. So I'm here to help, or a healthy recipe. Just let me know how I can help you.
I love your recipes.
Thank you.
All right, Kaye. Well, you have a good day, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, Kristine.
Bye.
Bye.